Well, that was a lot.
I like it. Man.
I thought it was a lot. The Bills the most dangerous team.
Well, look, let's be honest.
Okay.
There are only 2 teams in consideration right now. All right, there are a few other undefeated teams, but Tampa, they haven't looked great. So there are really only 2 teams under consideration, and you'll see once we hit the graphic. But, Nick, I think by any objective measure, if we take emotions, feelings,
who was your Super Bowl
rooting prowesses out.
Who's your Super Bowl pick?
Well, my pick was Buffalo.
Oh, okay.
But that's got nothing to do with it. You know what?
Fine. Go ahead.
Because see, I was trying to soften it.
No, it was like
because
slow.
he hit me like that, let's go to the graph. Let's go to the facts.
What's this graph?
Let's go to the facts and see objectively. The Bills have the best offense in the league. All right, the defense is best in the league.
Do you believe that?
Their pass offense, 4th, ahead of the Chiefs. Rush offense, ahead of the Chiefs. Every metric, they are way ahead of the Kansas City Chiefs. And you would look at those numbers and say, they've played a couple of chumps. They played a couple of weeks. No,
not
they
at all.
have done this against the defending Super Bowl champions and the defending number 1 seed in the AFC. Meanwhile, now Kansas City looks good.
Seed. I didn't know that was a thing.
Yeah, that's a thing.
It is a thing. Tennessee was the number 1 seed last year.
The defending.
That is a thing.
Can I ask questions since you brought up strength of schedule? Who's the best team the Bills have faced? Which of the 2, Rams or Titans?
Well, the Rams won the Super Bowl last year, so
well,
I'll go with the Rams.
Right. I'm not talking about Sid Luckman or any historical.
Well, you're going to bring up last year when the Chiefs beat the Bills in the playoffs.
Brew. I've said 7 words yet this show. You don't know what I'm going to bring up. I just got a question. So you brought up strength of schedule. So the best
in the first 2 weeks.
Of course.
That's it.
Yeah, of course. I'm with you. The best team that the Bills have played is the Rams, the best team the Chiefs played is Chargers. Who do you think's better, Rams or Chargers? Right now.
Well,
who do you think's better? Who do you think's better
I
right
will
now?
not play your game.
And who do you think's better
all
than the
we
Cardinals
know,
and the Titans?
here's what we know,
I think
Nick.
the Cardinals are better than the Titans, and I think the Chargers are better than the Rams in 2022. That's what I think.
Well, that's thinking.
Yeah.
That's thought.
Well,
that's projection. That's maybe. What we do know is that the Rams won the Super Bowl last year and the Chargers missed the playoffs.
Yeah.
What we do know is that the Titans were the number 1 seed in the league in the AFC last year, and Arizona lost 5 out of its last 6 games heading into that game.
Teams.
So I'm just saying, they have faced a tougher schedule than the Chiefs. They've been more impressive than the Chiefs. They've won their games, Nick, by 55 points.
No, well,
that's double anyone else, including the Chiefs.
That's the argument for the Bills, is not any of the statistical measurements except for that one. They've blown teams out, which at the end of the year, when they type it in the BCS formula, that strength of victory is really going to help them. However, and that is a fair argument, you're right. It is right now, from an objective standpoint, 2 teams. It's the Chiefs or the Bills. So this is a Bills discussion that also doubles as a Chiefs discussion, which happens to be the team that I root for, but I can remove myself from this.
No one's
My question is this.
I am.
No, I'm not.
Historically speaking in the NFL, when have we done for the Bills, or for any of the other teams that are the little brother teams that keep getting beat? Was there ever a time where the general media consensus, now eventually they got over the hump, but that they were like, you know what? The Colts and Peyton Manning, I don't care that they've never beaten the Patriots in a big spot. This is the year. Now, some people would pick them, but they always had to actually do it, and they did it. Or the Niners versus the Cowboys in the 90s. They eventually did it. But what is so galling to me is that the Chiefs are the same group of guys that have kicked this team's teeth in 2 years ago, that last year ripped their hearts out. And now, and the Chiefs
I thought we weren't talking about last year.
No. The Chiefs looked impressive this year.
Yes.
Of course they have. So for the idea that we are anointing Buffalo as the most dangerous team in the NFL, and when the Chiefs are still there with the same coach and the same quarterback, it's just unprecedented that I've seen. When the Patriots beat the Colts in the playoffs every year, the Patriots were the favorites until the Colts proved they could go beat them. The same thing with the Cowboys and the Niners. So I just don't know why the Bills have earned a level of deference that the team that's hosted 4 straight AFC championship games has.
Right here, eye test. They just look good. They look
better.
They look really scary. And I made a graphic for you. I think the Chiefs look good too. But I've got a graphic of my top 5 scariest teams, Broussard. It's a little October Halloween preview. We didn't do the set yet, but it's a little like how Home Depot has the stuff out. So Wildes put up his top 5 scariest teams. Coming in at number 5. The Ravens. Granted, they gave up a lot of points, lost that game to the Dolphins. Still look scary. You're coming in the 5 spot. Number 4, still got to trust him. Even the defense is carrying him, even though he doesn't look necessarily at his total GOAT peak. The Bucks. Okay. Coming in at number 3. And this is a strong team, and I agree with you. The Kansas City Chiefs.
3.
Coming in at 3.
Wow.
Coming in at number 2 and number 1, the Buffalo Bills. They just look it's too much. It's too much, Nick. 2 and 1, you can just reveal it.
Objectively, Nick,
they just look good. They look.
You tore my argument apart because last year.
No, I didn't.
And then you go immediately to last year and the year before that.
I just said, you said the Bills have played a harder schedule.
They have.
I don't agree with you.
Oh, they have. Come on.
But
hold on, wait a second.
objectively speaking,
is
Arizona any good?
I think Arizona's better than the Titans.
Maybe.
Maybe.
Maybe. We got 15 weeks to play this out. What we know now, we're closer to the end of last season.
If the question was, have the Bills been the most impressive team through 2 weeks? Yes.
Oh, okay.
You would have said yes.
Yes.
That's
that
common
is
ground.
the answer.
If that had been the question, I don't know that you would have said
We probably
yes.
wouldn't have done it because we all would have agreed. It wouldn't be that compelling. Yes, they have been the most impressive. But impressive and dangerous are very different things. And the team that the country, the general public, should have the most faith in is the team that we know come the end of the year can beat this team. We don't know that the Bills can beat the Chiefs in a big spot. We don't. They've never done it.
It's only been twice. Josh Allen is young.
Right.
And they added Von Miller, who looks like he's turned back the clock. They're a different team.
At some point they will. I think at some point Josh Allen will play Mahomes in the postseason and beat him. It might even happen this year. It is just unbelievable to me the amount of deference that this team has gotten for almost beating the Chiefs. When the Chiefs are still there. It's not like Andy Reid retired or Mahomes got traded or anything like that. There was a moment last night. It was back-to-back plays, and I think it speaks to what you're talking about and what I'm talking about, and I'd love to show it if we could. There was back-to-back Josh Allen plays. Mm-hmm. So this was to the fullback out of bounds. So Dan Orlovsky called that, and I like Dan a lot. He said that might be the most impressive incomplete pass I've ever seen. That was the quote. And I was like, you've got to be kidding me. I was like, you've got to be kidding me. But then on the very next play, Josh Allen did this, which was not the most impressive incomplete pass we've seen, but it's a pretty damn impressive complete pass.
Yes.
So that to me is in a tale of two plays, your guys' admiration of the Bills and my frustration with the Bills.
Fair.
I'm not doubting, Brew, that they're excellent. This isn't me last year calling Josh Allen Mr. Roller Coaster up and down. I think he's phenomenal, right? I ate the crow on that one last year. I said in that playoff game he proved it to me. But it is shocking to me that the Vegas, my colleagues, everyone is acting like it's the Bills and then everybody else.
Well,
that's shocking to me.
I will give you, Nick, that the general media is fawning over Josh Allen and the Bills. And even though I picked Allen to win the MVP and the Bills to win the Super Bowl, I don't think it's them and everybody else. I do think the Chiefs are right there.
Yeah, and they're playing your dark horse MVP this week, I think.
Yeah. Who I will name later. But yes, absolutely. Jameis fell out of the race.
It's okay. I know, but you were trying to carry that over from last year.
My heart wasn't in it.
Strategically, I thought it was a bad decision.
This is my guy.
All right. Meanwhile, on the other side of the ball, my goodness, the Buffalo Bills took the Titans' soul there. Malik Willis got some snaps, didn't look that much better, maybe worse than Tannehill. Do you think this is the beginning of the end for Ryan Tannehill?
No. I think we're past that. Ooh. The beginning of the end was the playoff game. And listen, we all have roles on this show. Bruce, the wise elder. Wildes is the leader.
Cogent.
Wildes declared himself the show's leader.
That's a new revelation.
There was evidently a vote when I wasn't around, but Wildes the leader. So I guess I'm the show's historian.
Oh, good.
Wow.
So I'm going to take America back to about 15 years ago, 2008. There's a team in Carolina Panthers, kind of a surprising 12-win team. Got a bye. And in their very first playoff game, their sometimes maligned quarterback who had his moments, but nobody really thought he was a top-flight guy named Jake Delhomme in that playoff game threw 5 interceptions. And that was the end of his career. It wasn't officially the end of his career. He started the next season, and within the first 2 weeks, he threw another 5 interceptions. And by the midway through that year, he was benched, and he was never a real starting quarterback again, and the team didn't make the playoffs for another 5 years. Mm-hmm. We're to that chapter of the Ryan Tannehill book. When you have limited upside, and everyone knows you have limited upside, and the team's kind of been carrying you, you don't recover from the playoff game he had last year as the 1 seed at home, starting the game with a pick, ending the game with a pick, throwing a brutal pick in the middle of all that. And so, yeah, I think that, listen, I don't think Malik Willis is near ready, but I know that this team.
How soon would you go to him?
I'd have to pull up their schedule before Thanksgiving. That's what I said before the year. Ryan Tannehill doesn't make it to Thanksgiving because this team stinks. They have no A.J. Brown. Derrick Henry, the carries, I think, may have finally caught up to him, Drew. Yep. And I think emotionally you can't recover from what happened in the postseason last year.
That's fair. And also he's about to be 34, 33, about to be 34, I believe.
Same
young for a quarterback.
Andy Dalton. Look, everybody's not going to be Tom Brady or Drew Brees, especially mediocre guys. Right. And that's Joe Flacco lost his starting job at 33. Also, Andy Dalton, I think, was 33 when he lost. Well,
Flacco's back, baby.
They got a nice receiver. I'll tell you that.
Russell Wilson's 33, and look at him.
Well, we'll get to that later. But mediocre quarterbacks, of which Russell Wilson's never been that, they fall off. A lot of these guys have fallen off. You mentioned Delhomme, all right? And so, Nick, though, I would wait until, because like you said, Malik Willis isn't dying to get this job. Is he still want to play football? First, we got to check with that after that hit he took last night. Let's see, is he still in the league? Does he still want to get out there and play? But I would wait until they're realistically out of it.
Okay.
Realistically.
So 6 weeks.
Well, this division is bad, too.
Oh.
I mean, being 0-2 in the AFC South, I know you're riding high because Jacksonville, they won it.
Was promised.
Oh, my God.
We'll see.
Stop saying.
We'll see.
As a leader of the show, stop saying Prince that was promised.
You never should have anointed him.
You agree with me in general that the Tannehill era in Tennessee is over, just not officially.
So 6 weeks is fair. Yeah. It might be 5 weeks or 4 weeks.
This
but
guy wins a lot of games, guys.
Yeah.
He wins a lot of games.
If they're 2-5.
So did Delhomme. Delhomme went to a Super Bowl, had a lead in a Super Bowl late, and 4 years later was done. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get more from the show and to check out clips from other shows on FS1.